this.
You just
and I'm
had to throw this on top of the pile.
I had to throw this on top of the pile. I don't want to spend a lot of time on it, Pro, but of course...
It doesn't deserve it.
It doesn't. It's so stupid. I just want to make fun of it real quick. Disney scores a big win over Ron DeSantis. No, they didn't. This article was written by an idiot. This is one of the worst takes on anything I've ever seen. The Mouse House and DeSantis have been entangled in a war after the company spoke out against its House Bill 1557, the Parental Rights and Education Bill, not the stupid name.
We don't say propaganda terms here, folks.
No. DeSantis introduced a law that prevented discussing things in school. Like, yeah, let's not talk about private parts with third graders and the teacher. I don't think that's appropriate either. Obviously, the vast majority of Florida didn't think it was, and they didn't want it, or they didn't want teachers doing that, so they were all back in this bill.
You mean you don't want 4-year-olds taken away from their 1+1s and their ABCs to learn about a different kind of alphabet? I can't believe this.
I don't think so. The plaintiff in this case, this is in the federal lawsuit, the plaintiff, Disney, filed a Second Amendment complaint, or Second Amended complaint, ruled the judge according to deadline.
If it's a Second Amendment complaint, this thing got way spicier.
Oh, yeah, it's way better. Accordingly,
Disney's going to New Mexico, baby.
The motions to dismiss the First Amended complaint are denied as moot. Defendants must respond to the Second Amended complaint within 14 days. Alternatively, if parties wish to stipulate the earlier motion. Let me just cut to the crap. Disney eliminated all the federal complaints they had in the lawsuit except for one, and that was, they violated my First Amendment rights, which, of course, no, they didn't. So this is what the author of this article is suggesting, that because Disney caved in, okay?
On everything.
They completely caved in on everything, which we told you they would a year ago.
You're gonna rile up the haters again, I swear.
I'm sorry.
Every time you do that.
Am I pissing off the pixie dusters already? Damn it.
Here we go again.
Here we go. We told
Luckily, most
you
of them
so.
moved over to Threads. It's a wasteland of pixie dusters who tried to exit us out of X.
So, Disney has basically folded shop. They've caved in. They've thrown out every single federal complaint they had made in the lawsuit except for the one, which was the First Amendment violation. Now, the reason, hang on one second. The reason they did this is because the federal lawsuit was being stymied by the countersuit filed by the Central Florida Tourism Oversight District in the state of Florida, which said, no, we're here with legitimate power. And, of course, I'm oversimplifying this. Disney violated this. They didn't do that. RCID, nope. They broke all these state laws. We're in the right. We're countersuing Disney to go away, whatever. Again, oversimplifying. Because of those kind of complaints, it was stymieing the federal lawsuit, because usually you have a federal case like this, and, of course, Legal Mindset, if he were here, could explain this much better than I can. But generally speaking, a federal court is going to defer to a lower court, like a state court, at first, for them to decide the case first before they go into listening to a case. So what Disney had to do was, because they realized, we're going to lose this state case, or it's not going to go anywhere and we're stuck. They were going to lose the state case. They decided to remove everything from the federal case except for the free speech violation, which is bullcrap. As we've explained since day freaking one, the former Reedy Creek Improvement District. Let me ask you, Pro.
Go for it.
Was the RCID owned by the Walt Disney Company?
Well, according to that chart that we saw by, I believe, Title Max, they thought it was. But according to law and the way that governments work, I just don't see anything here. Hang on a second. Let me get my law book out here. Well, I don't see a thing in here that says that a company can own a local government or cities or. Gosh, I think Disney may be actually in trouble in this.
Okay, so Disney did not own the Reedy Creek Improvement District. The Reedy Creek Improvement District was not a subsidiary of the Walt Disney Company in any way either, I would suspect. Which
doesn't appear that governments can become subsidiaries of corporations. No, not seen it.
As far as I understand, there is no state anywhere, at least even California and New York aren't this stupid, to where they would allow a private company like the Walt Disney Company to enter into an agreement with a government body that was granted power by the state's legislature, in this case back in 1967, Reedy Creek, to then just usurp all the government power from that government body into the company itself, the Walt Disney Company, meaning that the puppet board that was sitting on Reedy Creek that was appointed by Disney, controlled by Disney, then entered into an agreement that was written by Disney's lawyer for them to turn over all of their governmental power given to them by the state of Florida to the Walt Disney Company. That's not legal. So Disney has nothing.
How many corporations out there would love to have the government powers of controlling, inspections, taxation, infrastructure, whether or not they can even build a nuclear power plant? Disney had it all, and Florida looked the other way until Disney decided they wanted to get involved with bedroom issues with small people. And at that point, Florida said, hey, why don't we look at this? And when they looked at it, they said, I think something's going on here. Maybe this should go away. Now, what is going on in this situation, of course, is that, number one, whoever wrote this article appears to be intoxicated badly, but
Yes.
also there is one remaining claim from Disney in the federal court, and we had Ron Coleman, the esteemed attorney, on the Pro Show this past Thursday. He surmised that this is likely just a placeholder so that Disney can say that they still have a court case pending. That's all this is. It is just a placeholder, in his opinion and in mine, so Disney can have an optic win for now. Or I don't know if it's trying to prevent themselves from having the worst loss possible, right? We'll take a minor loss and we'll let these spinsters have at it with the articles. They'll do our dirty work.
Yeah, I mean it's just silly to me. But this paragraph here, if you look, this brief summary is that Disney alleges that Governor DeSantis and the Central Florida Tourism Oversight Board have sought to punish Disney for speaking out against the parental rights and education bill by taking away their control of the Reedy Creek Improvement District.
I'm done.
By taking away Disney's control of they're not supposed to have autonomous control over the district. They even put it in their own stupid lawsuit. Oh my God.
Disney, you better get a hold of this author and say, shut up. Shut up. God,
you wonder why they're,
I had not read this. This is the stupidest thing I've ever seen.
This is what I'm saying. You wonder why these cases haven't gone anywhere. It's because of stupid stuff like this. Disney has caved at every turn. The pixie dusters out there think that, Disney got one over on DeSantis, he's a big stinky boo-boo head. And no. I mean, the state of Florida, first of all, I mean, the suit filed by the state doesn't even involve the governor. He was named by Disney in the federal lawsuit, which is what this is from. And the federal lawsuit, Disney just basically gutted. It eviscerated its own lawsuit just past week, stripping out every complaint except for the weakest complaint they have is that their First Amendment rights were violated, which is, of course, ridiculous because no private company, no corporation out there, while corporations have a right to a freedom of speech just as an individual does, that is true. The problem is that the corporation's rights weren't violated. The corporation, Disney in this case, does not have a right to its own private government in the state of Florida. It does not have a right to manipulate and abuse a privilege that it was granted years ago. The state legislature, the voters of Florida, gave Disney this power in 1967. The legislative creates, the legislature creates. They also have the power to destroy. And therefore, there's no inherent right for Disney to just have this thing in perpetuity and abuse it in any way it sees fit. The state legislature decided, nope, it's high time to make a change. This district needs to fall in line and act like all the other taxing districts in Florida, the other 1,800 that are out there. This one doesn't behave like the other ones. They have a totally different set of rules. Not anymore. So it's not a First Amendment violation. It's ridiculous. For Disney to say that their rights were violated when you don't have a right to this thing to begin with. So again, it's one of these things that people in the media still to this day do not seem to understand how this stuff works. I hate it.
So pull that back up real quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking into this very interesting person that they got the quote from. This is from the quote is from Aubrey Jewett, associate professor and assistant director at the School of Politics, Security, and International Affairs. Boy, that's probably a huge department at the University of Central Florida.
Yep. UCF.
So, folks, if you want to have some fun, go Google this person and go see some of the other gems that they have dropped. This is a genius. But let me reread this and put it into actual what it really means terms. Ready? The brief summary is that Disney alleges that Governor DeSantis and the CFTOD, by the way, that's the only sin of DeSantis and them. They should have given us a better acronym. This just sucks. We need
it does suck. Yeah.
Have sought to punish Disney for speaking out against the parental rights yada yada bill by taking away their control, which is totally illegal, of a local government controlled by two cities that they also illegally control, allegedly.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, seeking to nullify a valuable development agreement, which is an illegal, ginormous homeowners association, which would reconfigure property rights across the entire country, and therefore no one ever believed it could happen, and threatening Disney with future reprisals. That's what really this is. But yeah, go look up this. Folks out there, go Google this real gem of a professor and find out how things are going.
Oh, I'm sure it's lovely.
Oh, I'm enjoying. I'm perusing, just perusing.